This is how to do a kickflip on a fingerboard. The first step to learning how to kickflip is usually the hardest for most beginner fingerboarders, but it's learning how to ollie. And the most crucial element to that is knowing how to control your ollie. The reason that you need to have good board control is because you need to be able to control the board in the air with your two fingers. Now, the best way to determine if you have good board control is if you can do frontside 180s and backside 180s. Once you have the ollies and a little bit of good board control down, you're now ready to start trying the kickflip. Now, to do a kickflip, you gotta pop it just like you pop an ollie. Now, the only way to make sure that the board rotates is to make sure that your middle finger is out of the way. So when you pop it, you rely on that first finger for the grip to carry the ollie the rest of the way, and then you just push the index finger down and the board starts rotating. Kickflip is one of those things that you will need to practice for a week or two to make sure that you really get it down and then understand how the flip works, when to catch it, the right position in the nose of your particular board to flip to make sure that it rotates fully. Once you do get the fundamental kickflip locked down and you can do it first try or maybe even second try every single time, we can now start diving in to controlling your kickflips to be able to do every single variation of kickflip out there. And while I won't be going into detail about how to do these certain variations of the kickflip, there are a few tips and tricks that I can give you guys. Tip number one is how to get your kickflips taller. Really, the only key difference between getting a taller kickflip and a lower kickflip is how long you hold the ollie before you flick it. If you drag it up steeper and then flick it, you will get a higher kickflip. Now, if you do it a little bit more shallow and then immediately flick it, this will cause a lower kickflip. This brings us into tip number two, how to get your catches more steezy. The steezy part of the kickflip comes from when the board is slanted like this and you're able to catch it like this and it just looks super clean. The way to do this is actually really simple. The more pressure that you apply downwards, closer to the tip of the nose, the more the board does that. And finally, tip number three, how to rotate your kickflip so that way you can kickflip into a crooked grind, a Smith grind, do a backside kickflip or a frontside kickflip. Now, with a normal kickflip, your index finger is doing all of the work to flip the board, only utilizing your middle finger to pop and catch it. But when you start adding another variation of rotation into your kickflip, such as frontside and backside, your middle finger is going to play a slightly bigger role. So instead of just popping and catching the board, your middle finger will be giving it a slight nudge depending on the type of variation of the kickflip that you want to do. Obviously, you give it a slight nudge this way if you want to do front side flips, and a slight nudge this way if you want to do backside flips. Your index finger, however, is still going to be doing most of the work. When it comes to front side flips, your index finger is not only going to flick it, but it's also going to drag it towards you. With a typical kickflip, it's just pushing it down. With this one, you're going to be pushing it down and also curling your finger so it drags towards you. Now, you adjust how much you drag it towards you based on how much you want the board to rotate. Same thing with the backside flip, except you're going to be doing it closer to the nose of the board while your middle finger drags that ass end of the board closer towards you. So you flick it closer that way so that it rotates. And that is how you kickflip. Now, something that I want you guys to remember is that this is something that takes time. It takes a lot of time to learn how to kickflip. It takes a lot of time to learn how to control it. It just takes a lot of time to get good at fingerboarding altogether. I've been fingerboarding since the 4th grade. I'm 22 years old now. I still play with these toys. They're super fun. So if you guys have any questions, just leave them down in the comments below. I'll try to get to as many of you guys as possible. Now, if I helped you guys out in any way, shape, or form, please do leave a like on the video. That would be really awesome. And if you guys want to support the channel further so I can keep making dope content like this for you, I just released the 2-tire Pro model. If you just use code 222tired at checkout, it gets you 50% off of your order. It really helps me to make cool content like this and, you know, just be able to keep it moving. Other than that, guys, I will see you guys later in the next video. Boom.